Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. I've got a guest, Nick Sheppard. Nick, say hello.
Hey.
All the way from Canada over Discord. We've got, he placed, you got second in Swiss, right? In the
Yes.
Canadian Montreal celebrations event. And then, where did you actually place in top 16? Did you get 8th, I believe, or?
Yeah, I made top 8.
Okay, made top 8. Awesome. Yeah, and you ran Vegeta Baby, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. And this is definitely a really cool deck that really got powerful this month with the power booster and stuff. And I've been seeing a lot of those lists pop up. What made you choose Vegeta Baby?
Well, actually, I was originally going to be playing Broly GT for the single event.
Okay. Okay.
And I didn't really get to play in the team event on Saturday, so I didn't really get to practice it very much.
Sure.
So I just, at the last minute, I made the switch to Vegeta Baby because I know the deck real well. So I just felt more comfortable playing it.
Man, this event is so silly. There's I'd say half the top 16. Their first statement is yeah, I just threw this together Saturday and it went really well. So
That's literally what happened.
Yeah. So cool. And sorry to hear about the team event happen. I know that this, I don't know. It's hard to say. Since this is a free event, right? How much professionalism should be, but there kind of be a lot of people kind of upset, and I would be too. And this was even one of the smaller events that at least from what I've seen head wise, that this had 82 people in singles.
Yeah, I think it was 84 actually.
84, okay, 84. And I think Orlando has 1,000 plus trying to do 2 events in 2 days. I can't imagine how hectic that's going to be. I can't even imagine the room that they had to rent for that.
Yeah, I think there was over 100 people registered for singles, but I heard a lot of people ended up just not going at all once they realized that their team wasn't on the list.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense too. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. Hopefully it gets better as it goes on, but it definitely sucks that this was the first one to have that happen. So, but
not the greatest first impression.
No, but you did do very well in singles to compensate. You used that energy that you would have used on Saturday and just pushed it all for Sunday. Yeah, exactly. So we'll talk about your deck real quick. So for people who don't know the basic baby chain, you have that. You've got 4 of Baby Vengeance Unleashed, which can then Union Absorb on itself or on one of the GT Vegetas. Sorry. So the daily training or digging deep. And then you go into Sand Strength Baby, and then from there it's evolving from your hand. So I've noticed that you only have 3 of the Super Baby one. Is that a choice, or were you only able to get 3 of the Power Booster?
It's actually both.
Okay.
When I was originally testing it with proxies before I got the promos, I just found that I always had 2 or 3 copies of it in my hand, and I really wished it was something else.
Sure.
And then just coincidentally, I only got a hold of 3, so it kind of worked out.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, and if I remember correctly, Canada was kind of on the shorter side for the Power Booster events. Is that correct, or am I?
Yeah, there weren't very many.
Yeah, there was exactly 1 in Kansas, but I know, it was pretty tough up there too. So, but you to compensate, something that you put in that I don't see a lot of people put in is you put 4 of the Dr. Mew under Baby's control.
Yeah, that was a last minute addition. My original version of this deck was really mediocre.
Sure.
I didn't put a lot of thought into it a few weeks ago because I've been really practicing with Broly GT.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I played Vegeta Baby a couple of times, and I didn't do really well because I kind of approached it like I do most red decks, incorporating Chain Attack Zeno, kind of the pan strategy, and that obviously doesn't work in this deck.
Sure.
So 11 o'clock at night, Saturday night, I'm tweaking it with my teammates, and some of the guys we're staying with at an Airbnb, and yeah, Dr. Mew kind of came up and kind of fixes that bricking problem.
Sure.
When you're missing that piece.
Sure, especially since Super Baby 1 is in hand, and the Grade 8 Baby is also from hand. You do need to search them. So
yeah,
and there's a good amount of targets for this. He's only top 3, which is unfortunate, but. You can get the 1-drop, which you always want. You can never have enough of the 1-drop, in my experience. And then the 5 and 6 drop, of course. So you have 9?
Well, you can search your super combo too.
Oh, that's right, because it's Handy Gyro. So handy.
Yeah.
So that's what you have. 22 targets, I think. So about half your deck. That's pretty good. That's pretty good consistency.
Yeah, very rarely did I ever miss on that.
So cool. Yeah, I think that's a really cool pick. I've tried like for fun like a version of this with the Dr. Mew leader, which makes a little bit more sense to have him, but especially since it's an EX Evolve from hand, I can really see how that could have just helped you a lot throughout the day.
Yeah, because it's essentially a 4-card combo.
Sure,
you need 2 babies,
yeah,
or a baby and a Vegeta, and then the other 2 baby cards.
Yeah, so I think that was a really good pick. And then since I see that you're only running 2 daily training and 2 digging deep, but I'm guessing since you have such a high chance to get the 1 drop now, it doesn't really matter as much having the GT Vegetas.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted the digging deep, just for that extra pressure. But sometimes paying 3 to go up the baby chain is really expensive.
Sure.
So I figured a 2 and 2 split's probably pretty good. You do draw a lot of cards in this deck, so you should see at least one of them, if not both.
Yep.
And then you can kind of make the call depending on what energy you have open.
Yep. I like that. Next up, we've got some body change Ginyu. People have been pretty much putting 1 or 2 in either the main or the side. How did he work out for you this weekend?
I really regret putting him in.
Okay.
I ran into a lot of barrier, so he was dead almost every game.
Okay.
It was a cute play in my head, and I probably underestimated how much barrier was running around, because anytime I drew into it, it just got charged.
Sure. And was that also how was running 4 Revenge Death Ball? Was that also a little bit tricky with so much barrier around?
Yeah, it was a little clunky. Okay. I did kind of feel it forced my opponent to play around it a little more.
Sure.
It almost did its job by me not playing it, just by the threat of it being there.
Sure. Just kind of like the Shugesh effect, and thinking, okay, I can't. Yeah.
Charge 1, and then they're thinking, oh, he's got another one in his hand.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I wonder if anyone's like charged the Shugesh like to just like intimidate like.
Oh, I've done that.
That's like the big move, right?
What are you gonna call my bluff that I don't have another one?
Yeah, exactly. Better draw the Chronoa quick. Yeah. And talk about that. You did run 2 Chronoa. How was the yellow decks Shugesh? How many did you see or face today, or not this weekend?
Well, we only played 4 rounds because
Yes.
apparently the celebration has shorter rounds than normal.
Yeah. I was going to get into that because I know for this event having 4 rounds made sense because you'd get some undefeated but some tiebreaker people. But for like once again Orlando, like if they have like 1,000 people show up, they're going to have like if they do 6 rounds, I think they will be like exactly 16 undefeated. I don't remember the exact number, but. Like, they can't do 4 rounds because people who are undefeated will still not be able to make top 16 if they only do 4.
Yeah. And I don't really have a great sense of how it would have done against the field, just because my first 2 rounds were against Broly Lineage, and then the last 2 rounds were against Herudagard.
Okay. So the first 2, it was really good, and then the last 2, it was just a draw 1.
Yeah, the Goku's Lineage was pretty tough, just because obviously Shugesh is a thing, and I know I was on a clock. Once I got to turn 4, that was going to be really difficult unless I was able to force their hand or they brick.
Sure, and they don't care about height of mastery as much, or they don't care about. Were either of them were they running Victory Strike or were they just height of mastery?
Both of them were.
Okay, so I mean,
honestly, I wasn't even concerned about Victory Strike because I knew I wasn't going to survive a height of mastery.
Yeah, exactly. Because, well, I'm just saying, like Victory Strike, since it doesn't have barrier, like it's really good with After Image and Revenge Death Ball. They have to really think about it. So
yeah.
And then 3 Foreseeing Hits I saw was that I really like this card, but it seems like it's kind of waning in power lately. What are your thoughts?
I would keep it at 3. I wouldn't put a 4th, but it did close a couple games out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good to hear. I always like it. And then lastly, we've got 3 of your Overwhelm cards. We've got 2 Supreme Kai of Time and 1 Mirror Creator Absorbed. So was Mirror good at closing the game at all, or?
I don't think I used it to close a game out, but it was an option. And I do feel like it was a good option to keep in there just in case. For example, if they're at 4 and my Triple Striker goes in and they're kind of confused as to what's going on.
Sure.
and then I just drop the mirror.
Sure. Yeah.
And just close the game.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think like Mirror's like been like a powerhouse ever since he came out, and sure it can get a little cloggy, but if you can afford the 10k combo or just are fine with overwhelming, like I think one in any deck isn't like a bad decision. So
yeah, it's also good just I mean, Deadly Defenders aren't really used as much anymore, but because they do have barrier, and I have a hard time getting over something with barrier, Mirror can just ram into it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So. Let's jump into the side deck. So, 2 strategies for Universe 7. This card's been pretty popular lately.
I really wish I ran a third.
Yeah. So, I can imagine just how, since none of your cards inherently have barrier, it's only through that. So I can see that being really good. You also cite in the entire Chain Attack Zeno package as well.
Yeah, that was an idea from one of the guys that I was staying with. Because I like I said, I kind of approached this as I did with Pan, having Chain Attack Zeno, and it didn't really work out very well. Yep. So Tyler actually, who also topped, gave me the idea for just keeping the 1-drop in there for the extra pressure, and that way, if I want to side in Chain Attack Zeno, it's a smaller side package.
Sure. Yeah, and then also like a lot of your side package benefits from Chain Attack because of the 2 impeccable Super Saiyan combos are like that, and also the burst attack.
Exactly.
Yeah. So cool. And then also, did you have any? And I guess you could get Ginyu off that too. Was that ever a play you did, or?
I had considered it, but like I said before, I ran into so much barrier that it didn't really come up.
Yeah. And then lastly, we've got 2 minus Killy zones and 2 dimensional banisher foos. So
yeah, I knew that Broly was going to be running around, so I wanted to have the Keeley zones in there.
Yeah, especially if you want to get your Chain Attack Trunks, you don't want to be afraid of a cold Bloodlust or anything like that. So
yeah, exactly.
So round 1, you said you went against Goku Swap. How'd that go?
That was that was interesting to practice for the rest of the day because I'd never really played against Broly lineage before. I mean, I got some practice the night before. But it's a grind.
Sure.
It's a scary matchup. Honestly, that's probably the one that I was dreading the most. Yeah. And then with my luck, I had to face it again in the second round. Sure. Go right back into it.
Yeah. Was it 2-1 or was it 2-0 or how did you?
I don't remember how the first round went, to be honest.
Okay, but
it was a long day.
Did you win though?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I thought so.
Yeah.
So okay. And then round 2, same matchup. I'm guessing was it a little bit easier round 2, especially with experience from round 1, or?
Well, it was definitely a different build of Goku's lineage Broly.
Yeah.
Game 3, actually, my opponent misplayed, and that really sealed the deal. My opponent kind of misremembered how swap works and thought when you return the card to hand, the card coming out comes in the same position. So he used his Broly effect to restand the Path to Greatness.
Oh, okay.
Which means he couldn't restand an energy for Bad Ring Laser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
It might not have been Path to Greatness, but either way, he restood a card to swap and then went into Height of Mastery, but because he used Broly's effect to restand the card instead of the energy.
You just used After Image, right?
He was tapped out. I had 2 After Images in my hand.
Yeah. So, well, dang. I mean,
it was rough.
Yeah, you gotta have to. Okay, so were there a lot of Broly decks? I know you said you faced 2, but how many would you say, like, approximately? How many people were running Broly?
I didn't see too many, but honestly, I wasn't really looking around at the tables.
Sure. Because was this? I don't know if this is like another regional thing. Would you say like that Broly made its way in Canada a lot, or do you say like a lot of people were kind of scraping to get one?
No, the Brolys were definitely flowing.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. I know some places had some issues with the promo event and had to buy them, and it was like $30, which is crazy for one card in this game. But okay, that's good to hear.
I think we got it a little later, but as far as I know, most stores did get them, and people were actually paying to buy the product.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I think when it first came out. And it was in the Europe had their open. It was pretty scarce, and so I know that kind of affected how many people played it there. So
yeah,
And then round 3 and 4, you said you played against Hooverdegarn decks?
Yeah, two very different Hooverdegarn decks, but I kind of have PTSD from Hooverdegarn, so I wasn't really thrilled about that.
Sure. So what was the first build? Was it?
The first build was red-blue Hooverdegarn.
Okay, just kind of chain attack Zeno kind of thing stuff, or
I can't remember if he was playing chain attack Zeno.
Okay.
It was Shad who also topped the event.
Okay.
He really did brick a lot. I didn't really have too much trouble with it.
Okay.
It was just I put a lot of pressure on him early game, made him take the hits, kept him down at a low life very early, and he kind of had to weigh: does he want to combo away his whole hand, or does he want to just go down to 2? Turn 2 and turn 3, Baby Ape is tough to come back from.
Sure. Yeah. Especially it could be really powerful. So
yeah.
Cool. And then round 4 was another Hooverdegarn, which was was it like the hand control one? Because I know like there's two versions, the red blue and the promo with the Demigra.
No, actually, I think it was mono blue Gogeta.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one probably topped then as well, right? I think.
Yeah. That was that was when I started realizing that barrier hurts my deck a lot.
Yeah. Okay, that was Jose Luis's.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was playing the Sneak Attack Vegeta and Sneak Attack Goku.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Did quite a number on my deck, actually. I would play something to KO the Vegeta, forgetting it has barrier or reduce its power.
Yeah.
He kept returning my 8 back to my hand.
Sure.
Tough to come back from, but
yeah.
I actually lost the first game pretty cleanly. And I kind of used that experience to kind of grind away the second game, and the second game really did come down to a grind. I actually won it by playing out a Supreme Kai, or the East Kai, the one that gives double strike.
Okay.
And then attacking with it and giving it double strike. I was out of gas. That's all I had. But
that is super.
He had
silly.
no hand.
Yeah.
So.
And then
game 3 actually went into time.
Okay.
They did a weird time rule that I've never experienced before, but basically once we were in time, we had 3 turns.
Yep.
And then if we were at the same life, we would have another 3 turns.
Okay.
And then if we were still at the same life, it would be first blood.
Okay.
Or something like that.
That is super weird. Normally, I know it's just 3 turns, and then if no one wins, it's a draw, right?
Yeah, they were avoiding ties this weekend.
Okay, yeah.
So game 3, we actually we weren't sure if we were in time or if we were really close to time. So neither of us really wanted to take a hit. So we went into, I think it was like turn 4, and neither of us had taken a hit. We were both still at 8 life, and then we confirmed that we weren't in time, and so we started chipping away at each other. And I think we were both at 6. I got him down to 5, and then as soon as he took that damage, they called time. And so immediately I was like, okay, I have to just protect my life.
Yeah.
And he did get me down to 5 on the last turn, and so went to first blood. And because he was coming back to me, I had 6 energy and an ape in hand that I was going to just hard cast. But when it turned back to me, I had three options to attack with, so I only had to do 1 damage.
Sure. And one of them is a big 30k ape, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that is super weird. I'm happy it worked out for you, but that was a super weird rule for...
Yeah, both of us would have probably played that game very differently had we not realized that we kind of had to protect our lives.
Yeah. So, all right, and then so top 16, who did you play first round of that?
The first round, I played a Pan deck.
Okay.
His name is slipping my mind right now.
Let's see. There's David Ty, Scott Dashy, Justin. No, Justin got 4th. Ricky Bond.
No, Ricky I played in top 8. He was also playing Pan.
Okay, so probably either Scott Dashy.
It wasn't Scott Dashy. I know
yeah, David Ty. Yeah, I guess
it might have been him.
Okay, yeah, and because Justin got top 4, so it couldn't have been him. So it must have been David. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. And how'd that go? Was it like a chain attack deck off, or how'd it go?
Yeah, he was playing chain attack Zeno. I did win in 2 games.
Okay.
I really did aggro him out the first game. I got him. I put out baby turn 2.
Oh man!
And and chipped away at him. And by turn 3, he was at 2 life.
Dang!
Because he didn't want to combo away his whole hand, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's how game 1 went, and then game 2, I believe, turn 3, I got the baby out and kind of went for a similar kill.
Sure. I could see Pan having a lot of, if you're really aggressive, having a rough time, just because like Pan's like really good at like mid-range defense, but not like full defense at times. So
yeah, the game 2, I remember specifically, I kind of opened up Exodia, and I just looked at my hand, and I thought to myself, I don't think there's any way I can lose this if I tried.
Yeah. So. Well, cool. And then top 8, you said you played
Ricky.
All right, and that went. Was he also running a similar version of Chain Attack Pan, or?
I believe it was similar.
Okay.
He played it very differently, though.
Okay.
He was clearly very familiar with the Baby Vegeta matchup.
All right. Yeah, I could see Baby if not having experience against the matchup, not really knowing how to approach it, right?
Yeah, and I honestly didn't really have much experience with the Pan matchup either. I did really well in the previous round, but the reason why it went a little awry this time was my opponent he would bait out the baby auto, just playing out the Vegeta that comes out for free to get that out of the way, and then just play his threats every turn. So it was very, very hard to get around that. And actually, I was thinking about this on the drive back. When I was building my side, it was kind of an amalgamation of my Broly side and just some cards I had around because it was late at night.
Yeah.
And I had completely forgotten to put Black Mass Saiyan at the side deck.
Yeah, that would have been super helpful.
Something I put in every side, but it hadn't even crossed my mind.
Sure.
And I really regret not putting that in there because I would have just taken the Chronoas out and put them in.
Sure. Because I was going to say, moving forward, what would you put in? What would you change on your side, and what would you change on your main? You said you didn't like Ginyu. Do you know what you put in there instead?
Instead of the Ginyu, I would probably play Pan.
Okay.
Just because, well, for one, it's a blocker, but two, if I want to just give my leader or the one-drop Trunks double strike, if my baby chain's not working out, I mean, I can just adopt the swarm strategy and just give everything double strike. Because, yeah, Ginyu, I like Ginyu maybe in a Pan deck, but I don't know about a baby Vegeta deck. The Kabbas I had in the side deck were just also kind of to close out games since they can't be countered. It never came up. I did swap out the Ginyus for Kabbas, but every time I got the Kabba, I kept looking at my board and I thought, 3 energy is a lot to pay for this.
Sure. I could see if you were playing against maybe like a Janemba Mill deck, Kabba could be in handy just because they have so many negates. But the matchups you were faced that week, and I wouldn't say that there was a really good matchup to side it into. So
yeah, so I mean, changes to the side or even main, I would add Black Mass Saiyan, and I'd probably add an extra copy of the 6-drop ape and the promo baby, just because of Janemba.
Yeah,
I didn't think I'd see too many Janemba, so I wasn't worried about it, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah,
but going forward, I could definitely see that being a problem.
Definitely, yeah, I can see. We'll see how Janemba gets next set too, because it got that boost, but we'll see if the meta even allows for kind of mill control stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
So all right, I think that's it for me. Any shoutouts or anything before we go?
Yeah, shoutouts to my teammates who unfortunately we didn't get to play as a team.
Sure.
Tyrone and James. I did at least get one of my teammates to play in the team event. They got to swap out for somebody who was missing a teammate.
Oh, nice.
So at least one of my teammates got to play, and I believe they got top 8 for the Team Wars.
Awesome. And you got like a sweet old mat for top 8, didn't you? Or is that?
It's a top 32 mat.
Okay, top 32. Okay.
But still, I mean, the pricing was pretty good, considering it was a free event.
Yeah. Like now it's like half the venue got it, but still, it's.
Yeah. Also, oddly enough, we're the only celebration that we don't get the Amex travel vouchers.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
Weird.
It seems odd.
Was it just the size of the event, or was it maybe something because it like Canadian laws or something?
I'm not sure. I know Bandai was very late to the party bringing organized play up here because they were worried about gambling laws, etc.
Yeah, I know it's slightly different up there. So
It's not that different though. I think they just think it is.
Sure. I mean maybe they're just not familiar with it, and so they're scared that.
I think that's what it is.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
So hopefully they make that adjustment going forward. But
yeah, definitely.
Still, hey, it was a free event, and shout out to Carta Magica. They made the best out of a bad situation. There were a lot of upset people, but they did their best to kind of do their best with that.
Yeah, and it was they've been really helpful. They released all these deck lists for me, which has been really nice. And yeah, it doesn't seem like any of this is directly their fault, and it does seem like they just tried their best. So.
Yeah, and they even gave us participation pricing, even though we won the tournament.
Oh wow!
Well, yeah. So they definitely did their best.
Yeah, shout outs to them. So, anyways, thank you for taking some time to talk to me and showing me your deck. And thank you all for watching. We'll catch you all next time.